Have you figured out your niche? Are you helping adding value to other people's lives? Then you're in the right place. Welcome to Munira's Musings with your host, co-author of Conversations with Top Real Estate Investors Volume 3, Munira Zahabi.
Greetings from Chicagoland. This is Munira. Welcome to our show. And I have Sherri from Stuart, Florida. Did I say that right, Stuart?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So thank you so much for being on my show. This is another segment of Facebook Live that we are bringing to you. And I appreciate those of you who are watching and those of you who like this channel. Please like and subscribe. I'll say that right in the beginning. And I am addressing all of those people who are in business or are trying to get into business, but are not sure how to find their voice. Well, you're in luck because Sherri here is a coach that helps people find their voice and package their message in such a way where that's feeling salesy. But before we jump in, Sherri, I'd like to introduce to you that I am your host, Munira Zahabi. I am the niche navigator, and I help coaches and entrepreneurs find their niche. And, having a niche is more important these days because it's the survival of the nichiest, is what I say. You have to have it because if you don't, then you're wasting time, money, and energy, and which is very scarce these days too. So without further ado, I want to introduce our guest, Sherri. Thank you again for being on my show, Sherri.
Thank you for inviting me.
You are welcome. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, my name is Sherri Green, and I live in sunny South Florida, although I don't think that it's very sunny today. I am a mom. I have 4 of my own kids and 2 stepkids, so it can be a little busy in our house. And I have been helping people with communication for the last 10 years, really, mostly in the real estate realm. And then I for whatever reason, I'm the magnet. People are always coming to bounce ideas off of me. How should I say this? What should my email say? That kind of stuff. And I thought, this is something that I need to put out there to the whole world because there's a whole universe of people that can be helped. So, and really my business is being built because I want my daughters, I have 4 of them, to grow up in a world where they have the confidence to speak their mind. They have the confidence to ask for what they need, and they know how to make themselves heard. So that's my mission.
That's an awesome mission. Women have always been subdued and in that realm where you are seen but not spoken, and you have men who do that and put you down. But we need women who can just step up and say, you know what, it's not going to happen. This is how I'm going to do it. And there it is. So thank you for doing that. So how did you find your niche?
A lot of trial and error. I knew generally what I wanted to do. My story is, I tell people in the 8th grade, I wanted to run for class treasurer. And I remember getting up on the stage in front of the entire auditorium of the school and having to, promo myself, basically. I was scared to death, so scared. My hands were so sweaty that I ruined my notes. I totally froze and I didn't win treasurer. Okay. But I've always been a natural natural leader. I will go into situations or organizations and just, take on projects and things, and people will take notice and go, oh yeah, she's got it together. So, let's see how else she can do. And I I ended up becoming the youngest president of a women's organization called Women's Council of Realtors here in my local area. Again, when I was vice president, having to take over because the president left for a while, and being scared to death and standing holding the mic with both of my hands so that people couldn't see me shake. And after a year of practicing and really learning how to have conversations with people, it doesn't matter if it's one person or 100,000 people. It's all about the confidence, internalizing your message, and having just a genuine conversation with people. Not gonna lie, I still get butterflies, especially when I'm presenting something new, but I really want to help other people who have a desire and have something to say find how they want to say it, and help them get it out there, help them build the confidence to get it out there.
That's awesome. It's true, because when you start something, there's always fear, right? And you always have to, I think fear is inbred with us. We just have to push it out and say, you know what, no, you're not going to stay here. There is a little bit of it, I know that, but we have to become confident. And as we learn more and as we grow more, we become more confident, and we push that fear out. And you're right, when we start something new. So how long have you been in this niche?
Just about a year. I started my transition last November, and refining my message, because my other business is vastly different. It's a contract management business for real estate agents, because I was pulling on my real estate expertise. I was a real estate agent for 20 years, and started the transition. I had already been helping my clients that I talk to on a regular basis with what to say and how to say it, and started transitioning into this about full time about a year ago.
And so can you tell, so you said something about, transitioning and as a niche navigator, that's what I help. I help people transition. And, most people are not able to take that first step because they have fear and they are not clear, right? Because that's the two things that I work with. So what were your obstacles and how did you overcome them?
My obstacles were really, I felt like I felt and still feel to an extent like I serve two masters, and that's very, it's difficult because it's two different messages. And I have started to wind down the transaction management business, but, but I have clients and want to make sure that they're still taken care of. It's an integrity thing. Transitioning over into the new, there was fear. There were like, why on earth would people want to listen to me? And bouncing ideas off of people I had worked with in the past, and, really building that network of my cheerleaders. And my biggest cheerleader is my husband, and he's heard me on the phone with people, coaching people through difficult conversations. And he's like, whatever you do, don't give up and don't quit. And I think that for a lot of people, that is what stops them. They haven't spent the time to build their cheerleading network. The people that, and I'm not talking about yes people. I'm talking about the people who are going to go, I know you can do this, and I'm here to critique you and give you some constructive criticism if you need it. And I'm here to help you, get through it. And then just go do it, because done is better than perfect. So reaching out to people, spending time, and that's the thing too, you really don't get super refined in what you do until you start working with people. So start working with people. If there is a message that you have and an expertise that you want to share, then start sharing it. And as you go, so share and tweak. That's been my my mantra.
So what you say is share, tweak, and repeat, right?
Yes.
Okay. So let me ask you this. Why did you pick this niche?
I think that there are a lot of people out there who are they're afraid to say what's on their mind for fear of upsetting people, for fear of looking bad, just in not having the confidence within themselves to, you know, step out of their comfort zone. But they want to be successful and they want to share their stories in an effort to help other people. Or they've been in situations where they've tried to voice their opinion and people have shut them down, or, you know, said, oh, we've been there and done that and it didn't work then, so it's not going to work now. And as much as, and nobody likes conflict. And I think that all difficult conversations have that element of conflict that, you know, gives you goosebumps and you're like, not really sure I want to have this conversation, so let's just put it over to the side. And one of the things that I teach is 4 steps to turn a conflict into a conversation, and it works like magic. You have to be very clear about the outcome that you want for the conversation, and then stay focused on that. Don't get sidetracked on other things. Don't let your emotions get involved. And that's really hard for women, the whole emotional part of it. So, right? And it is for me. If my husband were here, I'd pull him on camera and he'd go, yeah, she can be a loony bin sometimes. But when I take a step back and I go, okay, what do I want to get out of this situation? And I go, what's the worst possible outcome? Am I okay with that? And then how can I get to, what's my compromise? What am I not going to walk away unless I get? And figuring that out and staying focused and staying calm. And I have been in some high conflict conversations where I've used the methods that I teach. And
Sorry.
Yes.
No, I thought I had a lag for a second.
So that's it. I teach the methods. They've worked for every single one of my clients. And I ride horses, and I pull from that knowledge that you can't lie when you're on the back of a horse. So being very honest with yourself and really reining in your emotions, not hiding them, but accepting them, and then getting past them so that you can tell your truth, and you can tell it in a way that people will listen.
That's an awesome message, because most people have a wonderful story. They just don't know how to craft it,
Right.
And so when you hear those storytellers tell the story, it's just amazing. And then you have those very crafty and very creative storytellers who, take your story and then spice it up, if you will, with a few words here and there, and make it so amazing that you can't believe it's your story. I've had that happen,
Yeah.
So I love what you're doing, because, communication is the key to everything. How you communicate. You could communicate with sign language, you could communicate with just emails, even text messages. I would rather pick up the phone and speak to a person compared to go back and forth on a text message, because I feel the context is being lost these days. And how it's perceived is completely different. I mean, you never know what what you want to say is being perceived, and then it turns out to be a very odd conflict, you know. And like that.
Yes,
So
and I love that you bring that up too, because so many people try to resolve conflict or have a difficult conversation via text message or email because it's more comfortable that way. But what happens is whatever the other person is feeling, and think about it, when you've read a text message and you think in your mind that someone is upset with you, you overlay those feelings onto the words on the screen, and it just makes things worse. So it's much better to pick up the phone, go have a cup of coffee if you can stand it in person, and power. I don't like to tell people to power through things because that's, you know, but I do like for people to work through the butterflies. The butterflies mean that you're human and that you care about the outcome. So those are important things to have. And I don't think that we embrace the butterflies enough.
I love it. I love that what you said. Is they make you human. Sherri?
Yep, I'm here.
All right. I don't know. Something's happening and there is a lag, but that's okay. So how do people find you?
I have a website, sherri-green.com. And if anyone is interested, I do have a download right on the front page called 50 Conversation Starters. So your next networking event isn't so awkward. And if they want to work with me, I do have a coaching program that is open for enrollment. I'm getting ready to launch on Monday. So, and I have a finite amount of spots because it's intensive one-on-one. But it's really helping people kind of dive into the obstacles that are holding them back from making that post on Facebook or starting that live or picking up the phone call and having that conversation. And because I think communication is the key to changing the world, and we need to have more of it. So that's what I want to do.
Sherri_green or Sherri-green.
Yeah.
.com. Yeah. So Sherri-green.com. There you go, people. But here's one more thing. Sherri, leave us with something that you would want to share with all of the women out there or all of the people that are watching. You know, something that resonates with you and me, and then just a message that, you know, communication that impacts and inspires.
No matter where you are or what kind of situation you find yourself in that's making you feel like you're the only one going through this, you're not. And there are people who want to help you and who will listen. And so you just need to take the first step and make up your mind that you're going to reach out, and you're going to change the way that you communicate, and you are going to stand up and be confident in yourself as the amazing human being that you are.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That was an awesome message. So there you go, folks. You know what? Your message is important. You have something to say. That's the first thing. Say it in a way where it's not a conflict, but it's communicated as a package, as a gift. You know, if you are wanting to learn how to do that, Sherri is your person. And she's done this wonderfully because she's found her niche. You know, and it came because she's been helping others over time, right? And
Yeah.
that's how, you know, you can't find your niche right away. For some people, it's just like that because they're inventors and they found it. Some people have to just go through it. And some people like me who've been doing it for a while and didn't know that we had this gift in it until it hit me one day like a ton of bricks and say, I've been doing this, hello. So, you know, you just have to look inside of you. But whatever you want to do, everything is a message. Everything is a communication. And if you want to learn more from Sherri, then you go to her website. She's also available on Facebook. I know I found her. and just have a conversation. It doesn't hurt. And I'm humbled again, and thank you so much, Sherri, for being on my show. I really appreciate you. And people who are watching, thank you so much for being here. And for those of you who can share, like, and subscribe to our channel, I would love it and appreciate it. Thank you. Over and out.
Thank you.
Have you figured out your niche? Are you helping adding value to other people's lives? Then you're in the right place. Welcome to Munira's Musings with your host, co-author of Conversations with Top Real Estate Investors Volume 3, Munira Zahabi.